All right. And we are live, right? We are live. Happy Sunday, happy Sunday, happy March, right? It's a brand new month. It's your boy Maverick, tuning in from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm back in Atlanta past couple weeks. Been on the road. Just got back from Phoenix, Arizona. But yeah, it's top of the week, going into the last month of the first quarter of the year. And you know top always do these weekly market outlooks, always do the market outlooks, because I've just noticed a way higher effectiveness, way higher accuracy, way higher, um, just confidence in the markets when I take time to prepare at the beginning of every week. So that's what this is. And of course, if anybody has any questions or anybody has, anything that they want to add, just feel free to talk in the chat. This is always community vibes, always a movement. Here in the Traders Guild, it's really, y'all know what it is. It's a home for traders, traders with that business mindset, with that entrepreneurship mindset, because at the end of the day, trading is a business as well, right? So, anything you want to add, or any type of engagement, let's definitely do that. But y'all, let me know where y'all tuning in from in the chat, right? Let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me go ahead and first things first, let's start off. Let's check out investing.com. Why don't we, right? Let's start off looking at the news for this week. Investing.com over here in the economic calendar portion. For those of you guys who, up here, you go to the news, go to the economic calendar, find the economic calendar. And let's do some filters. 3 stars, 2 stars. All right. There's a lot of 2 stars. Let me do 3 stars for right now. All right, so high impact news this week. Tomorrow we have high impact pound news at 4:30 a.m. So that's something to pay attention to. We got CAD news at 10 a.m. and then Australian interest rates coming in tonight, right? Tomorrow night, my bad, tomorrow night. Then Tuesday, it looks like we're going to be hearing from the Chairman Powell. Okay, so that's definitely going to bring some activity into the market. And that's not until 10 a.m. And then we have short energy around 12. So I probably would anticipate getting into the markets a late day on Tuesday, probably. I've just noticed when there's 10 a.m. news, typically I'll wait around until 10 a.m. to actually execute. And then Wednesday, we do have NFP. This is NFP week, so be aware of that. 5 a.m., President Lagarde in Europe speaks. And ADP, non-farm employment change on Wednesday at 8:15, and then we got Powell speaking again at 10 a.m. It's going to be a fun-filled week. And then JPY on Wednesday and Thursday night, we got JPY news. And then we got the initial jobless claims on Thursday, and then Friday, non-farm payroll and unemployment coming in. And last month we had non-farm coming in crazy at 517, which is is abnormal for what we've been getting, consistently, right? That wasn't normal. We've been seeing a change within that 200,000 range since about October, right? It was as high as 300,000 in October, but we haven't seen something like the 528 since August. We had that 528 in August. So definitely anticipating a lower number this month, just going back to normal changes. And a lower NF, non-farm payroll number would, cause bearishness in the dollar typically, right? And that's what we'd be looking to see. And then unemployment change on Friday as well. And just to take into account some of the, right, some of the secondary news we got coming in. Okay, okay, okay. All right, good to notice, right? But I just like to use these news not necessarily to determine it. Like, yes, they help me with the direction because I have an understanding of how these different things can affect market sentiment in other traders. And the way that I trade, I'm always looking to do the opposite of what the majority of people are doing, right? So these news events give a good opportunity to read market sentiment and respond to it. But it mainly what it does is gives me an idea of the timing side of the market analysis. Right, it's two sides when it comes to understanding the markets and predicting movements in the market. And those two things for me when it comes to technical analysis is price and time, right? So just paying attention to the times that these news events are coming in, like how on Tuesday I see that we have major news events coming in 10 and 12. So I probably like that allows me to expect major price shifts probably after or around that news time, right? So that's what we got going on this week. Let's take a look at the charts, right? Let's be effective today. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? All right, cool. So we're going to start off with the dollar. Let's check out the monthly because we are on a brand new month. So let's start off on the monthly. All right. Now, new month starting off 25 days left in the month. Last month, we did finish last month with a bullish on the month. Not only bullish on the month, bullish engulfing, bullish engulfing candle, coming straight out of this lows over here, right? Sell side liquidity on the left hand side, and we rated those lows and had sharp, movement back up. So that is a good sign, right? That is a good sign. That is something that I would like to see. Seeing them go ahead and take these orders, get some liquidity here, and then see aggression out of that area, right? Now that we've had this monthly candle close, engulfing, bullish engulfing, tip to me after that, I like to look and see after, for example, another previous bullish engulfing over here. You see after that, what do we have? We had a very bullish month, right? Bullish month, right? So I'm not, we're not need to go as far as to project the next however many months, even though I have an overall bullish sentiment on the dollar over the next quarter, next two quarters or so. But what I can say is that for the month of March, based off of having that bullish engulfing in February, I'm anticipating bullish price action into um, coming into March. All right. Now going down to the weekly time frame, I took note of where that on the monthly time frame. I took note of where that down move opened up before the sharp move higher. Where that month started off in February, that down month before, I mean, in January, the down month before we had the strong move higher. All right, so this was the first day of January here. This was that Monday. We saw them run higher and take, essentially take the highs from the past few weeks and then we saw them go ahead and trade lower right into that liquidity down here. And then we saw the sharp move higher for a higher high than this high here. Right now, we're not higher than the actual wick. That's okay though. We're higher than the body. So that's what I see from the weekly time frame. I mean, like I said, I mean, over the main thing we can take from the monthly is I'm still bullish on dollar. Like I've been saying this for a while now, right? At the very least, right now, I feel as though this high here is the draw, is the liquidity, is the aimed for liquidity at the moment. It's the next high between where price was here and here. That's the only next high, and there's not much price action in between. It's very low resistance liquidity run to get us up into that high, and that's kind of how I see it. So, with that being said, I think that from where we're at now, that's why with that bullish engulfing, I'm anticipating that higher price run. All right, cool. So now going down to the lower time frame. On the dollar, on the daily. Okay. So for a few weeks now, I have not liked the way we left this gap here. Right. Have not been liking that. Wanted to see us trade back to it, but price has not shown willingness to do that. We've been just climbing higher highs and higher highs, and even here we just got a higher high here. So looking, I have my eyes here, but for right now, let's pay attention to this range here. Essentially, the range from this was the whole month of February. Interestingly enough, just for the sake of argument, we'll go from the low of February, which was here. This was the low of February with a fib tool to the high of February, just so I can get an idea as to where the market was, where the discount of this bullish price action would be, right? So we have here, that would be the equilibrium. That would be the 50%, right? And that was halfway, right? So from this low to this high, that's the halfway point. So underneath here, we can identify this as our area of discount, right? I mean, if you were a buyer on anything and you saw the market come down to a 60%, 70% discount on the price, right? You would definitely buy, right? So this is where we can anticipate for buyers to be invited into the market, okay? And you can see that for the price, from this high of January, from the high of January to the low of January, I guess we could say, right? From the high of January to the low of January, you can see we've actually gone past that equilibrium and we've gone past that premium, right? The red box would be the premium of the down move, and the blue box would be the discount of the up move. It's the same discount, it's the same percentage difference. It's just direction that's different, right? So moving down, this was the premium. Moving up, this was the discount. And we've burst past that, right? We've actually traded above these candle bodies over here. I mean, if I were to put this on a line chart, you can see that we've taken these highs, right, on the line chart. Now going back to the candle chart, I feel as though either the market will want to go ahead and attack this sell side and then go ahead and trade lower, right, to that discount or below that equilibrium before we trade higher, or just simply having taken liquidity from these bodies here, we can see that the market start to break down and trade lower, right? So that's what I'm seeing, at the top of the month here, seeing the month open up. So what I would want to see, especially because I just broke down on the monthly, my idea is to see this next monthly candle be bullish, right? That's the idea. However, I would anticipate to see a wick, right? A wick down back into this this engulfed candle, this mitigation block. I would love to see them trade back down before trading higher, right? So that is, if you're a swing trader type of individual, then you just hold off, just keep your eyes open. on these guys to give you the setup that you're looking for on the buy based off what I'm saying right now. But if not, intraday, what I want to see is ideally or potentially, like I was just pointing out, we could see them trade to this high, right? But going back to that daily time frame, right? We already traded above the bodies of this high, right? The bodies. Let the bodies hit the flow. Okay. We've already traded past the bodies of those highs. And here is where that happened. And we saw engulfing candle out of that area, right? Massive bullish movement out of that area. And then we saw the market trade back up, right? Create a essentially the fair value gap here. And then we seen them trade back up into that here. And then we got the acceleration out of there, right? Starting to get the breakdown, right? And here was that lower low, right? So we got the lower low here, lower than this low, even lower than this low. We had the lower low here, lower high here. Market traded up above that high, took liquidity above that high, and then we saw the market start to trade off and trade lower. So based on the way that this structure is playing out, what I want to pay attention to last week. All right. All right. I want to pay attention to how the market responds in this area, because as you can see, this was that area we came back down to, and then we boom rejected back up. Right. So we've already respected this discount, traded up, did not failed to take these highs here. And with that failure now, right, it's it makes them just maintaining this low. It doesn't make it look that probable, right? But it's Sunday. It's the beautiful thing about Sunday is I get to watch the market tell me what it wants to do. And so yes, that's the beautiful thing. But just based off what's happening right now, I want to see if we respect this level, right? I want to see if we respect this level, or do we go ahead and break through this level, right? And if we see a breakthrough on this level, right, any type of retest on this, and that would be my confirmation, not that we would be trading the DXY, but it would be my confirmation to see us go lower. We also have clean lows over here, right, from last week's highs, I believe. Yep, from last week's lows, I believe. So liquidity underneath, right, aka sell side liquidity. All right. How y'all doing, man? How y'all doing? Talk to me. All right. So I think I rather would use the money signs. It was helping us out a little bit. Yeah, so those double bottoms there create what we like to call a draw on liquidity. Maybe that's not what they're called, but that's what I call it, because it's almost like a magnet, right? And it's going to draw price towards it, right? Towards these lows over here, right? And from there, I would just need an area where price would want to turn around from. And ironically, if we were to run through an area like this with momentum, what's stopping price from traveling down to where I want it, which is down into this fair value gap down here, right? So that's kind of what I'm looking to see. Now, that's really what I would like to see to start the week off. I'd like to see us trade lower, give us the lows of the week before Wednesday, and then from there see us go ahead and trade higher once we've taken liquidity down here or down here. But if the week starts off, going into tomorrow, and I see the market go ahead and trade above this sell side liquidity, reject anything like that, then may very well just get a full good bearish week before the market actually does travel higher. And the interesting is that NFP is this weekend, like I said, anticipating negative news off of NFP. We do expect it to be lower. That's what it's projected at as well, right? If you remember, I'll pull it up again, right? We're projected to see NFP here, right? It was last time previous, it says previous here, previous was 517, and it's forecasted to come out at 200, 200,000, right? So that's going to be a lower number of new people that have employment, and so that are not on working on farms, and that would affect the dollar negatively, right? That would cause a negative pressure on the dollar. So that's very much in alignment with seeing her go ahead and trade lower. But that's all the way on Friday, right? I would love to see the week just go ahead and open up like that, especially just based off of how we've already came up, taking these highs, and then on the hourly, we can see we had an engulfing candle out from after taking those highs. We saw the market trade back, right, up into that, and then we saw a boom, sharp trade lower again. So just seeing this downtrend starting to open up, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, right? All of this looks ripe for the taking. So that's what I would like to see based off of that bearishness on the dollar for right now. I would expect bearishness, I mean bullishness on everything inverse of the dollar or opposite to the dollar. So let's go ahead and get to something. Let's go look at some other things, right? Let's go look at some other. Now that we got the dollar down, we can go take a look at some. Let's see. What do I want to start with today? Yeah, dollar's looking. She's looking right. Let's take a look at. Take a look at UJ today, shall we? We'll get to NAS. We'll get to NAS. I definitely want to take a look at NAS, but let's start off with UJ. So UJ's been she's definitely UJ is it goes in alignment with the dollar, right? It correlates with the dollar. On the monthly time frame, we can see last month on UJ was the first, bear bullish month since October. We haven't had a bullish month since October, and this was right after us trading down below these lows, right, from August. We never made it down below May's lows. We never made it down into there. That's what I was looking to see. Would be curious to see if we can get that. But again, same thing as the dollar with this bullish price action coming in like this, right after sweeping at least this low here, right? Right. It gives that we can go ahead and see some continuation, right? But UJ is at, like this is really high. Now let me see if I can pull up another chart. Yeah, here we go. Right. So on UJ, on the monthly, we've recently traded above the highs from 98, it looks like. Looks like we've recently traded above those things right here. Right, that's the body. So you can see we closed above the body. Same thing here on the wick, right? Closed above the wick. Whenever I see price close above a previous high, not just a sharp move into it, but actual close above it and another candle opened above it, it gives me that's a higher high, right? After a higher high, I'd expect a higher low, right? Continue moving upwards, and so I see us being in an uptrend on UJ. Especially here, higher high, higher low, higher high. And this is me looking at it on the 3 month now, right? Sometimes I definitely do like to go ahead and get out to the higher time frames. The higher the time frame, the higher the perspective. That's just how I feel. So from here, similar to the dollar, we do have these highs here from 1990, and up in here we just have a whole lot of imbalance, right? Whole lot of imbalance up here. So we're gonna leave that there for right now, right? We're gonna leave that there for right now. But let's do a little explore real quick. If I were to go from this valid high up here down to the low we got down here. Just inside of here would be a perfect premium, wouldn't it? I mean, a real perfect premium area for the markets to trade to. And this heavy drop here was, I mean, that was the move that broke these lows here, right? And we never traded back to that area at all. And you see, we kind of had a little consolidative price action over the past couple decades. And but we can see that since about, what is this, 2012, since 2012, just massive upside on UJ. And then we had a bit of a correction, and then 2020 hit, massive upside on UJ, right? And then we're getting this bit of a pullback, right? Is it going to be more of a consolidation like this one? I guess that's yet to be determined. But from what I'm looking at right now, and the way that this price action is giving us this higher high here, I think we're in for higher prices on UJ just based off this higher time frame. The question is just, is this retracement done? Right, that's the only real question, because we never really traded back down into this into any of this. Just to be honest with you, we never traded back into any of this. So the ideal place to really see would be for her to fall down here. But remember, UJ correlates with the dollar, so the dollar would have to decide that it was ready to trade lower. And I'm just gonna be honest with you, I don't see it, man. I don't see it. I don't see it. Let's take a look real quick, right? No, that dollar doesn't go far back enough. Yeah, none of these really show the most history, do they? Might have to go to commitment of trade, not commit, barchart.com for it. Yeah, on the 3 month, dollar had traded up into a fair value gap here, traded up into that thing sharp, and then we did just get a heavy bearish engulfing here on the 3 month. This is interesting, isn't it? This is interesting, isn't it? Because we got 25 days left in this in this 3 month candle right here. Right, got a another couple days left, but and you see we have this bearish engulfing. And what did I say about the engulfing candles? Typically after you get these engulfing candles, or see, look, this is a moment where we did get an engulfing candle, and then the next candle wasn't, right? And then a little stagnation before they did go ahead and take the top. So maybe potentially we could see something like this play out. But normally when you get these engulfing candles, right, what happens? You tend to get another one right after, right? Especially when it's at highs like this. So we'll see, right? We'll see. But I'm gonna stick to, let's get back down on a monthly for right now. Like I said though, that bearishness on the dollar going into this week is what I anticipate to go into tomorrow, Tuesday, as we see her kind of pushing down right now. Now, like I was saying, we go back to UJ. And UJ recently also traded below these lows here, and then we had the massive upside on UJ. Now, let's do the same kind of thing that we did with February here on the dollar. This was the low of February to the high of February here, and just measuring that low to high that broke this, right? Broke this high here. This was the previous highs on dollar, right? Lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and we broke there, came back in, and then we broke those highs with this move. So I'm gonna take my Fibonacci from the low to the high. I'm gonna take into account this discount area. Right inside of that discount area, right? And we have the previous high here from the sell off, the sell down before they had that strong push up, right? So this right here is what we like to call a mitigation candle, right? Or mitigation block, or mitigator block, whatever you call it, right? But either way it goes, this right here, this sell, this down candle, the top of it would be the entries of any down moves, right? And we can see on the other side, boom, they came up. We had, boom, return to it on this candle here. And then we had the sharp move higher, right? And now this same area is the top of our discount. It's the 61% essentially on the Fibonacci's. All right, so gonna pay attention to that. All right, gonna pay attention to that. As of right now, looking to the left, looking at where we just traded into before we got this sell-off right here. Just traded back into an order, this order block here from, I can't, what would I assume, what was on December 20th? I cannot recall what would have been on December 20th, but it looks like we had a news event that caused us to sell off heavy. Yeah, key area. But either way it goes, the market did sell off from there. We had a high, and over the course of Thursday, right, from Thursday at 5 a.m. is when that high came in, and we saw the market trade lower. We had a lower low, lower high. Yeah, she's following the dollar's lead, all right. And just based off that correlation with the dollar, I see UJ just going ahead and dumping off, right? Continuing to sell off until the dollar reaches that zone, right? Until the dollar reaches that zone, which is, I want to see how she responds here, right? Are we going to respect this, or are we going to reject from it? And if they are going to go ahead and break through it, then I would like to see price go ahead and trade down lower to the sell side liquidity here, right? And then don't forget the action down here, right? I think this is where the gap is on the higher time frame. Yep, right in there. But going back to UJ, but yeah, right now this low here is undefended, so definitely going to be attacking that. We can go ahead and mark that off. Sell side liquidity here. These highs here were broken from this move higher. So let me go ahead and take a look from this low to this high. So this fair value gap right here is right in the discount of that price move from last week. Right? This fair value gap is the same as the discount on that price move. And also we can see that this sell side liquidity, right? We also have, and this area is also right below that sell side liquidity. So if we are going to be continuing with this uptrend, right? And the beautiful thing about weekly market outlook is I don't have to be completely right. I'm just looking for scenarios and I'm preparing for those scenarios. That's all that weekly, the weekly market outlook really allows me to be able to do. Is prepare. All right, prepare. Yep. The reason I pause is because the dollar's been bullish, right? We've been bullish for the whole month. And so, of course, I'm still paying attention to the bullish sentiment, which is like I said, we trade down into this, and I see I see an engulfing candle out of here. The next retracement on that, I want that buy, right, and continue this ride higher. However, if we don't respect this, and I see them break down lower, right, then this now becomes a support on the other side, right? If I don't see them respect this level and they break through it, right, this level now becomes a resistance on the other side, right? So if that's what I would be now looking, right, to see play out if we don't respect this level. However, we respect this level, and I'm looking to see something like this play out. Right, and then on that move, I'm looking to participate. Something like that. All right. So very, very simple setups. It's really just preparation, and taking with like paying attention to what the market is giving to us, what we're seeing in the price action. Time and price, baby. Time and price. But yeah, I like that zone right there. So I'm put my alert. Excuse me. Yeah. How big is this gap here? It's like, yeah, it's a couple different ways you could take it. Like I said, I would prefer to be at my computer to see when they get down into it. But I mean, it can even set up for a good 50-point stop, right? Aim for the highs. That's a 1 to 3, right? The daily buy side. I mean, that in itself is a 1 to 6, right? But I would say, of course, me. I don't like pending. I don't like pendings that much. All right, so that's UJ. We are gonna have some Australian news tomorrow. Monthly sell side liquidity on AU. Recently, we saw AU trade up above this daily buy side liquidity, and then same thing, massive sell off, right? And we saw them trade back up into the fair value gap, massive sell off, right? This was the sell here that broke these lows over here. So I'm going to pay attention to it. High to low. I'm going to pay attention to the premium. The opposite, because this is bullish price, this is bearish price action. In bearish price action, I'm paying attention to the premium. Right, boom, that's my premium area. Anywhere in that area is where sellers are going to be enticed into the market, right? So I can wait for the market to come up into these areas and look for sells from here, continuation sells. I also want to take into account where the midpoint is the equilibrium. Anywhere above that equilibrium is fair game. Anywhere inside this premium is great game. Okay, that's the idea. So I can either wait for it to come up into this, or I can look for opportunities back into that zone. I don't recommend the opportunities back into that zone unless you are skilled, and know what you're looking for. Okay. Yeah, I can see a harder move out of here. Definitely a potential buy, especially going in the direction with the dollar. Like I said, we did come down and take these lows here from January right here. This was the low point of that. We saw price go ahead and dip down underneath those, but then we got strong buys out of there, right? Boom, you can see right here. Strong bulls into the market, and then here again, right, drop down into that, but boom, what strong bulls gave us, what, a higher high here, right? That's a little bit of sign action going on, but I wouldn't trade this personally. It's a little difficult for no reason. So I personally wouldn't trade it, but I can see the setup, right? I can see the move. If you were attacking the buy back into that premium, yeah, could see that. Could definitely see that. So it's good. It's good stuff. Mm-mm-mm. All right, saw them trade back into it below the 50%, took off. Then we saw them trade back down here. Boom, again, they just came back down into the discount, and we're seeing some acceleration here. So yeah, keep an eye on AU, right? Could see some potential buys up out of this area. Something like here. So keep an eye on that. Now, take my eyes to NASDAQ. My darling NASDAQ. Hmm. So NASDAQ last month was a draw. Last month was really a draw. No kizzy. But the month before, starting off in January, we did get that bullish engulfing in here. But, hmm. Hmm. So NASDAQ here. These indexes, my sentiment has been bearish on them long term. Looking at what we got going into this week, last month closed just absolutely not it. Like I showed last month, we literally didn't really move much. Market opened up at 1270, closed at 1208, right? Market didn't literally close right in the same area that they opened up at for the month. Wasn't that impressive. But it gave more of an order block, just to be honest with you. Because like I said, the month before was a bullish engulfing month following a drop below sell side liquidity here, right? Quick sneak under sell side liquidity. And then we got this, range, this sharp move higher that was supposed to be them taking liquidity up here. But I feel like they left that fairly still intact. So I think that we'll see them still come back up, take this liquidity, and then sell off, right? That's what I see. Um, we did see them here already trade up into that fair value gap. So let me get a little bit lower. And let's see if I still feel the same way. Right? Because we did see them come up, take the bodies, right? And I always say the bodies, right? The bodies are super important. So we'll say they took the body there, right? We'll say they took the body. And then we had sharp moves out of that area. This was the drop that broke this previous low here. So let's take a measure on that drop. And we can see we've already traded up back above that 50%. And we're now trading towards the premium area of that drop. Right? And fair value gap on the daily time frame. Right? So granted, if this was the real sweep on these highs and we're not going to be aiming for up here, then yes, this is where I'm looking to see the market respect for strong sells off there. Right? We even have double tops here. Right? Even got double tops over there. So yeah, we can wait to see the market go ahead and move back up to that zone. But again, if you're a bit more advanced, if you're not, then you could just wait for this area to start looking for sells, right? And just take as many sales opportunities you need to out of there. But if you're a little more advanced, and if until the market reaches this area, looking for potential buy opportunities up in there are the opportunities essentially, right? It's been given these opportunities since March open, pretty much, right? March opened. Our monthly open was right here, right? So we saw them trade a bit lower. And then after they traded a bit lower, we saw instant takeoff to the upside. Now, the last week of February, these are the highs from the last week of February right here. All right, so maybe we can see the market trade back below these lows here into one of these areas here, right? Something like this, or back into this fair value gap down here. If we can see potential, in either of those potential moves, it would give us a area that we could get into attack getting up here. So I'll keep, that's something that I'll keep my eye out for, really looking to see the market come in here at the same time the dollar takes the lows and sweeps the lows, and I see conjunction like that around New York session or London session. I'll look for the sells once we get up in here, right? But given I'm able to look for a little bit more advanced setups when they present themselves, is that until we do reach up here, I can allow myself to take potential buy opportunities to get up there. Now the market has been on a tear, literally high, low, high, low, high, low. And here we saw the market drop. Literally, this was the open of the day. I believe we dropped down to start the week. Literally took these lows from Friday, the most recent short-term lows, and then gave boom higher high, 9 o'clock. So some real interesting stuff. Right, right. Areas like this, because when the market wants to go for a high that's really close, like this one up here, it'll accelerate. Like it will say forget going backwards. So that's the reason that I say, I mean, something like that, especially after seeing them come, boom, came right back under these lows here, and then we got the sharp acceleration to the upside. I'm pretty sure on a higher time frame, there's some type of engulfing going on, right? This, I mean, this candle basically engulfs the candle, the one that we were just looking at, the one before it, right? This, yeah, it's essentially the order block lower, boom, and then that sharp move higher. So either way it goes, that is the type of opportunity that one might look for, right? If they was a scalper or a Nasdaq trader. So that is what I would say for starting off tonight. Tonight going into tomorrow for Nasdaq, seeing us get up into these areas. But the same thing I said on the dollar, looking to see the dollar get into the lows, right? Looking to see the dollar get into, right, respect this. If we do get some respect here, that'll be great. But either way, seeing them get down here below these lows, right? Seeing us get here and then starting to get some aggression from right there is what that's what I would like to see, right? Something like that at the same time as Nasdaq is climbing up here, right? And we're seeing something like this, right? That's the type of action that I want to see on Nasdaq, DXY, and I just went over UJ. Pretty much all correlate with the dollar. Pretty much all correlate with each other. Um, and I think I want to look at Euro USD as well. I think I want to look at Euro. And you guys can let me know in the chat if you want me to look at a specific pair or anything like that. You let me know. Or if you guys are looking at a specific pair, that's cool too. Last month on Euro, we got a bearish engulfing, right? Bearish engulfing coming in on Euro USD last month. You see, we had this sharp move that broke the lows here. Did we ever trade back up into that? No, we never traded back up above that. So if I want to, I can run on this whole thing real quick. Some daily buy side up there. We still haven't taken sell side down at this level. Right now the market's been dropping since beginning of February as well, right? Since beginning of February, we've been in a downtrending market. We've recently broken the lows from January. We just haven't broken the lows from the top of the year, lows from December. We haven't gotten into those just yet, but they're targets, right? They're targets nonetheless because again, right, we have a lot of low resistance down here. So low resistance liquidity down here. It's a very easy target for the market to get to, versus having to go back past all these lows. I mean, honestly, I don't even think we'll get back up there, right? I don't even think we'll get back up there, but just running fibs from the high to the low on that range from that high from that CPI news. It looks like February 14th. You can see we've traded just over equilibrium again here. All right, gave a drop down, created a higher low here, right, after creating a higher high. So seeing some bullishness Right, we're seeing some bullishness right now. Right, I'll turn that into a premium. Right, so now same thing, right? Looking to see how we respond coming back above these highs. Daily buy side from last week. Yeah, that looks good. Right. Look for some sell opportunities up in there. In there. Yeah, that's what I think would be good. So with that being said, again, can wait to take sells up here if you're not the most active person, or you can look for the buy opportunities at once the market trades back, trades a bit lower up into that daily buy side liquidity, right? Low here, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, right? Would love to see them trade underneath this low right here. Sweep those lows right there. Boom, come into this and see a takeoff. That would be awesome. Let me put a 106.20. Yeah. So yeah, seeing us sweep here just to get up here and then see some rejection from there. It's looking good on Euro USD. That's what I want to see on Euro USD. And of course, if you're getting some value, if you see what I see, if we have similar eyes, give me a like. Give me a like. Give me a like. Let me see. Definitely helps the channel out. Definitely helps the channel out. So you leave a like there. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing on Euro, NAS, UJ. I think that was a good roundup for the day. So yeah, that's what I'll be having my eyes on this week. I did not take a look at gold. I did not take a look at gold, but been neglecting her a little bit lately. Last month on gold was a draw with the month before as well. I'm not gonna lie, man. Gold feel like she can definitely go take these highs out. Just be honest with you guys. Gold of everything feels like she could definitely go ahead and take out those highs. Like it's nobody's business. Especially after we just came in, gave this lower low here. They've now accelerated past this, accelerated past. I mean, they kind of just dug into the premium and then dropped away. So I guess we'll see. But right now, that thing does not look safe. It looks like they're about to run that thing down. So with that being said, gold. I think gold will get. I think we can get a big pop on gold. Just me knowing her, man. That's just one of those things when I've been trading gold for a while now. Um, yes, I feel like potentially gold might be ready to get a little bit active for real. Gold, gold, gold. Now, on those higher time frames, it looks like they could definitely go attack that monthly buy side, but it's on the lower, the lower time frame we get looking on the daily and the 4 hour. I mean, we're a far ways away from up there. I'm be honest with you. But the crazy thing is that the low resistance is really to the upside still. Like there's a lot more resistance I feel like for them to get down into from here than to get up past there. I mean that's just what I see. Um, we've been legitimately bullish since November, and for the whole last month we were bearish though, but we did give new lower lows, right? These lows are lower than the lows here, which are from the beginning of January. So we have given lows of the year. Yep, these are the lows of the year right here now. Okay. This here was the low before we broke these highs here from last week, because these were the highs of last week. We broke those on Thursday. From that low to that high. So what I like to do whenever I see a high or a low get broken in a significant area, I like to throw my fibs on that move and pay attention to the 70 to 62% of that, which just so happens to be where the high is over here. You can see here we did trade back to that and have a sharp move away from there. She's already 200 points away. I think Nasdaq is a lot funner and cleaner looking right now. I'm going to annotate this level here, right? Because I can see over here it was a previous high, as well as the fair value gap it's at right now, as well as it's right below this sell side liquidity sitting here. Right below that sell side liquidity. So at this point, it's all those few things that I checked out now just based on timing, right? What time do we get to these zones? Do we make these patterns? Do we have these type of setups? Do we respect these levels or not respect these levels? Now it's a timing thing. You feel me? So that's what I'm looking at going into this week. Definitely will be tapped in for New York session in the Discord. If you're not already in the Discord, you can join it. Just go to the, look in the bio of this video or go to the Traders Guild YouTube page and you'll see it. Just go ahead and join the Discord and you'll have a chance to go ahead and trade with us live every single day. I lied. It's not every single day. It's Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. The other days we do like Q&As, commentaries, things like that, right? So definitely excited for this week. Appreciate you guys tapping in with me, watching this recording, watching the live, whatever the case is, every single Sunday, 10 p.m. Be here next week. I send out an email to remind everybody. And definitely excited to go ahead and see this grow and have some more guests on here with me as well. That's definitely gonna be exciting again to mark up the charts with some other professional traders. You know what I mean? So either way it goes, definitely excited for this week. See you guys on the trading floor and trade